Welcome to a whole new world with me, your host, Jacob New, as we seek to put a spotlight on positive things happening in the community and developing that positive mindset. We've got a great episode ahead for you guys with some tips to help you create that better work-life management. But before we get into that, it is time for our favorite part of the week where I try to make you smile, Dad Joke of the Week. So, here it is with, how do roofers party? They raise the roof! What? It's okay. It made me laugh at least. So, to start this episode off, I'm going to play a brief excerpt from our episode number 23, Quitting Workaholism with Mr. Brad White. So listen and take note.
I realized the damage that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Damage as in like
in the
relationship damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I talk to a lot of guys, and there's kind of like this whole argument about like having a strong work ethic versus being a workaholic. There is a fine line there. But what I found was, I discovered before I lost my wife and my kids and half my crap, that was going to happen if I didn't change.
Oh yeah.
I was running into people, and I've got a much longer story that kind of unwraps the whole thing. But basically, I was able to see through other people's experiences the damage that it was doing.
Mm-hmm.
The damage that it was doing to kids who were now grown up, telling me stories about how they didn't have a dad and what that caused psychologically, what that caused from a self-esteem and self-worth perspective. And thankfully, I learned from other people's experiences instead of having to go through that tragedy myself, that if I didn't change, I was really going to be screwing up my entire life and my kids. And so that was kind of like the big change for me. But what it looked like as a recovering workaholic was basically just making very, very conscious choices to not work crazy hours.
All right, so there's a small little tidbit of our conversation from episode 23, Quitting Workaholism. Now, Brad goes in to say a lot of very good things, but I really like this part, and I wanted to start off with that because his kid, it's started to notice with his family. Y'all, I don't think any one of us out there really go out with our job and we want to create problems in our personal life. And that is why creating this work-life balance is so important. So, not only is it better for your families and personal relationships, but it also can help with our professional relationships as well. Because if you don't have the issues at home, you're going to be more happier, and you'll be able to communicate better when you are at the workplace, and vice versa. So is an overall just better atmosphere for everybody. You're less stressed, which means that you're going to have a better health. You're going to be a happier, healthier you. Less irritable in general. The little things won't bother you as much, just because you are taking the time to make sure that you have that good work-life balance. Now, is it going to be easy and is it going to look the same for everybody? No and no. Everybody's at different stages in their lives, and we acknowledge that. Just like when I was single, I was able to stay at work a lot later than now that I have a fiance and moving into a family. I have to set cutoff times. So depending upon whatever stage of life you're in, you want to take that into consideration as we are going through some of these tips, y'all. So without any further ado, we're gonna get right into it, just for you. So our first tip for the day is to let go of that perfectionism, y'all. Do the best that you can. Not everything that we're gonna do is going to be perfect. We're gonna have those mess ups. Do your best to plan for the worst and get everything done that you can. But being a perfectionist takes up way too much time, and it takes a lot of brain power. So just from my personal experience, and it stresses you out when things aren't perfect, and that's just not our world. Our world is not perfect, and I'm not perfect. You're not perfect, and it's okay. It's great. It's beautiful. Love it. Embrace the non-perfectionist inside you. Except for when you're painting, then you can be perfect. I kid. Even then, turn your mistakes into opportunities, y'all. Our next tip is to just unplug, y'all. Find some time and just don't get work on your phone. Don't get work on your email at home. I realize some of you might need that for your job, but maybe set it like a cutoff point. 8 p.m., 9 p.m., I don't get any more. So you can sleep with an easy mind. You don't need work coming into your house. Get out, work. Coming into your house and disturbing what you got going on there. I mean, when I'm home, I do my best to be at home and present with my fiance and just my friends when I'm around my friends. And I do realize, y'all, that it's, like I said with the last one, it's not a perfect world. And so there are going to be times where you make exception to that. But you generally want to set a rule, 8, 7, whatever works best for you, where you just unplug. No more emails from work, no more texts from work. I'm not responding until tomorrow. It can wait. It's been expressed to me, and this is true for just about every job. If you were to die today, as morbid as that is, your job will be put up for some new hire the very next day, y'all. So we are sadly replaceable. So just take some time. Don't let it dominate your whole life. So set that time where you can just unplug. No more work emails. And next thing, in our next tip is to find some time and just get active. Find something physical to do. When we make that time, we end up sleeping a little bit better. So whether it's going to the gym, riding your bike, going for a walk, man. I started taking my dog and going on a walk with my fiance, and we take our dogs. And man, it is so great. It's a great way for me to clear my mind. I'm getting some exercise. I'm getting fresh air, which is nice. I never would have thought, like, getting out into the world and just breathing that fresh air just would do so much for my mental state. And yeah, so that helps a lot. Get in, do a yoga class, get stretchy, enjoy it. Take some deep breathing exercises, dude and dudettes. I mean, but not only to do something active and getting yourself out there, because I mean, there's some major payoffs that come from it. I mean, things that I'll be honest, I don't know enough, but I know it helps with state your brain, and just releasing stress. We need that stress reliever, guys. Go out, get that workout in, get that walk in, let some stress out. Just let it out. Just get it out. And make sure that you have time for you. So setting aside that time that you have, so you exercise or you want to read a book, set some time where you just like, I have 30 minutes, I'm going to read this book today. I'm going to read 10 pages every day. Set those manageable goals, whatever is manageable for you. If it's 10 pages, I'm going to read 10 pages. Maybe it's 5 pages, 10 minutes, whatever works best with your schedule and your lifestyle. I don't have kids yet, so I don't know about all that crazy with all those different schedules, but finding time, maybe it's right before you go to bed. Take some time, read a book, or watch your TV show, and just decompress, y'all. Our next tip, this one's actually for the workplace, and that is to limit those time-wasting activities, y'all. I love Facebook just as much as you do, but it is very distracting and very similar to YouTube, where you start off on one thing and all of a sudden it's been an hour and a half. And from YouTube, I am always on Dr. Pimple Popper. Doesn't matter what I start on. I always end up there. I'm like, whoa, gross. But like, y'all, that's an hour and a half of work or things I could be doing around the house, or things I could be doing at school. Oh, I'm not on YouTube at school, or my job. I am a teacher, but I do know that it does hinder my productivity when I'm outside of school. So set those limits, set those boundaries. These things are going to require some discipline, yes, but you can do it. Now, I don't say no Facebook, no, but obviously there's a time and a place for it, and I think at the workplace it is not. And this is one of the things that I'm actually very proud of in the workplace, is that I am very rarely, I'm not going to say never because it does happen occasionally, so but I'm not on that social media. Work is not the time or place for it, and that's one thing that that's my personal opinion, and it's helped me out a lot in accomplishing my goals and getting my work done for the day. Next tip for everybody is to learn to say no. It is very easy to want to get a leg up or impress people by, I'm going to take on all these tasks. But you got to think, what is good for you? What is your stress level at already? Can you take on anything else? If not, it's okay to let other people do the work. Let them take ownership. If they're going to make a mistake, let them make a mistake. Let them learn from it. Help them learn from it. But when you take on too much, it becomes overwhelming. You don't do things as well. And so it's just going to be a better work environment, you'll produce better quality products when you don't have as much on your plate. So it's a hard thing to do, but learn to say no. And our last tip for the day is to just set manageable goals for each day. Why are you there? What are you trying to achieve this day? And I love putting in this manageable piece, because I'm not going to set this goal of I'm going to get this whole project, start and finish this project all in one day. That is not manageable. How can I break it up? Okay, I want to get this first part done today. Or, you know your projects and you know how you can set those up, but everybody should be, well, in my opinion, everybody should be setting those manageable goals that'll help you get through the day. It helps you keep focused and narrows down everything that helps you focus in on what you need to get done, and will help with your discipline in getting to those other activities, limiting the social media, limiting unplugging at the end of the day. I got this done today, boom, done, I can leave. Y'all, it makes a world of a difference. And like Brad was talking about in the beginning, work should not come between you and your family, or you and your spouse, you and your fiance, you and your whoever. All right, I want everybody out there to be the best that they can be and develop those great relationships with people, because that's why we're here, is to develop those relationships with everybody and make the world a slightly better place by working with each other and interacting with each other positively. So, all right, getting off my soapbox. Hopefully one of those, we're like, oh wow, I like those. And if you liked all of them, great, choose one. Make it manageable. It's like with our New Year's resolutions. We set these grand goals. I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds. And they're great goals, but make sure you make them manageable. Because sometimes when we I'll use the analogy, my stomach was bigger than my eyes were bigger than my stomach. When we aim for something too high and we don't reach it, it's discouraging, and then we quit. So make sure that these are attainable goals that you are setting, and that you choose one. Start with that. You get it? Great. Move on to the next thing, y'all. So that is our short tips, 6 tips for finding that better work-life balance. I hope you have found some little piece of help with this and that it has helped make your life a little bit better. And for more tips, I highly recommend listening to episode 23 called Quitting Workaholism with Brad White. He has some phenomenal things to say, talks about time blocking, and he has some great stories of people who have not had that work-life balance that maybe would ring true for you or might ring true for you in the future if you're not careful. So give that a listen, y'all, and as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and if you only learn to do one thing, learn to make a difference. Y'all have a good night.